I love superheroes. When I was 4 years old, I wore these exact Superman tighty whities. I wore this man on my balls, man. And I swear they are still comfortable. I love what heroes represent and how they inspire people to be better. And I believe all heroes have merit of some kind. Some standardize what the term means, while others swear it loosely. So in this video, I'm going to be ranking how heroic certain heroes actually are. For this one specifically, for the sake of time, I'll only be talking about and listing 3 characters. But as time goes on and more of these are made, I'll continue to add to the list and pack more into one video. So make sure to comment who you'd like me to talk about next. Forewarning, there will be more glaze in this for certain characters than Ranger Toa had for Jade and Shiba.
We got another video of people trying to disrespect my glorious King Jade and Shiba. You know there's no toleration for disrespect.
And others I will treat the same way Moist Critical treats Pokemon card scammers. I may not have all the proper knowledge on every character, but that's where I want this to be a discussion. So if I get something wrong, feel free to correct me, and I'll adjust the ranking for future videos. However, on certain things, you'll have to make a very good case to change the ranking, as we may very well disagree on those certain things. Each hero will be loosely rated off of 5 core heroic attributes, and how I believe they scale to those factors. But to decide those attributes, what does it really mean to be a hero? Is it their ability to fight crime? And to what scale in their own world? Maybe their ability to actually save people. And more than just physically, can they really save people? How inspiring are they? But maybe the way people see them is relevant too. Or maybe it's more important how they see themselves and the world around them, how valuable their morals are. If it wasn't obvious, all 5 are the factors we'll be discussing when ranking each of these heroes. So with all that out of the way, the first hero we'll be discussing is everyone's favorite hero, Bouncing Boy. Oh, you don't know who this is? Well, his powers include sonic inflation.
Oh hell no!
Did you know he got his powers by drinking a scientist's experimental fluid? Yeah, fuck this guy. Hang it up, bro. Now we can talk about one of my favorite heroes, the hero of heroes, Captain America. This is a character who defines what it means to be heroic. When it comes to crime fighting, watch my goat work.
Can you stop sleeping, please? That's annoying.
What in the fuck was I supposed to do about that? Chat,
Wake up! We're playing a game. We're playing a game. Stop sleeping.
Like chat, like y'all saw that?
Cap can take down any street level threat for sure. Gangsters and thugs, soldiers and ninjas, Kingpin and Taskmaster. But when we start talking about gods, monsters, robots, time travelers, and Big Wheel, it starts to feel like Cap falls out of relevancy. But he's had a massive hand in defeating some of the greatest threats in Marvel. He's helped stop wars, fight off alien invasions, alien wars. He's defeated Nightmare in his own nightmare dimension, which is more metaphysical than physical, fair enough. But he's beaten Dr. Doom on several occasions. And count this if you want or not, but apparently he's defeated the literal devil from the Bible.
It's me, the devil!
He's saved soldiers, stopped buildings from collapsing on top of people, and even taken dying children to the hospital. Because he truly cares about the people he's fighting for, and genuinely wants to inspire them to be better. Because when it comes to inspiration,
think I'm fighting for me? To save my own life? That's why you'll never win. I'm not fighting for me. I'm fighting for them! And that's something you'll never understand, machine!
He is truly one of the most inspiring characters in fiction. And we don't love Captain America for his ability to face any threat and beat any foe. It's for his ability to stand up to those greater threats, knowing he might lose anyways. Like that time that he walked right up to Thanos and punched him, knowing he would surely kill him. Most of the time, he doesn't beat those bigger threats on his own, far from it. He's died to some pretty dumb things, like getting shot. But he's generally the driving factor in whatever war he's fighting. He represents the idea that even the little guy can stand up for the little guy, that the strong fight for the weak, and what makes someone strong is making that choice. But Pink, isn't Cap racist? Now, he did refer to Vietnamese people as... yeah. But don't take this out of context for Cap like I just did. This was back when he was just propaganda written by racist white people during times of war. Many heroes have had these moments due to writers trying to force their beliefs through their characters, but it doesn't always define them. If we considered all of these writing choices as a real representation of their character, we'd all have to accept Wanda and Quicksilver once had an actual incestuous relationship, and Wolverine liked to watch. A well-written Captain America is incapable of judging someone or demoralizing them for their race. But Pink, isn't Cap actually racist to mutants? I can explain this. No, but like really though, I can't. This technically isn't Captain America, and this isn't actually a real comic. But it's crazy how many people it fooled. He truly doesn't care what you are. As long as you fight for the good fight, you're an ally to Captain America. Cap gets an S tier. Like I said already so many times, he is the perfect example of heroism. In fact, he goes on a special list. My Mount Rushmore of goated superheroes. This will be preserved for those that embody what I'm calling BBE. Big Blue Energy. Now, enough jerking this old man off. Let's talk about someone that personally, while having some levels of respect for, I despise. The Punisher.
No way he just put in
The Punisher.
reference in there. Man, I love this reference.
Judge, jury, executioner!
Frank Castle was always an angry and violent person, from being a traumatized kid to a Marine. But his family was able to temper that rage and help send him down a brighter path. Until one day they dropped at Central Park. His family could barely find any resources, let alone a weapon. So the circle was closing in. They all got lit up by sweats with golden scars. And Frank still hasn't found their reboot cards to this day. Thus, why he will never be seen in Fortnite. On a serious note though, the saddest part about this scene, you'd figure it would be Frank surviving and trying to get revenge for his family. But no. In fact, he was just about to tell his wife, I can't do this anymore. I'll sign any divorce papers you send my way. You can have the kids and the house, but I'm leaving. Causing his wife to cry heartbroken the moment before she was shot. Tearing his family apart the very second before they were all killed. Frank Castle doesn't kill out of something as petty as revenge, but something much worse. He truly enjoys it, and just needed an excuse to do it again. Frank was supposed to be the hero that does what others won't do, but in the end is best described, even by his own writers, as a serial murderer, psychopath, an utter lunatic that needs a war to fight in. So let's get right into the ranking. Now you might argue Frank killing his villains is ultimately better. You get the trash off the streets, there's no more trash, right? Wrong! There will always be trash. But instead of trying to snuff those lives out, you should aim for betterment. And if Frank Castle's method is so great, why doesn't he go after someone more deserving of punishment, like Kingpin or Bullseye? Real pieces of trash that people like Daredevil cannot kill due to a strict moral code that he berates them for even having. If you're going to kill people, at least kill someone that's going to leave an impact on crime when you do. Now, does this mean I believe all heroes shouldn't kill? No. A hero should do everything they can for you. And if that means dying for you or killing for you, then that's what it takes. But ultimately, they should aim for detainment and a reformation. And that's exactly why I hate Frank Castle. Captain America says it best himself. If he were just some lunatic going around murdering people in some loose frame of an idea of justice, it would be different. Still bad, but different. But Punisher has a title and wears a symbol. Those things make him more than a man. They make him an idea. And I don't know about you, but I don't think following ideas symbolized by a skull is a good idea. Except the Straw Hats. Luffy can get away with this. Now remember what I said about aiming for reformation and bettering the youth? Well, Frank Castle is in fact the worst at that. Here's him killing a mugger. Kinda bad guy, not really evil, doesn't deserve that. How about a red light runner? Not good enough? Here's him killing a jaywalker. Not evil enough? How about a litterer? And if those weren't already bad, he kills kids. Yeah, he kills kids. Don't believe me? Here's him doing it. Okay, that one was just a joke. But he's actually done it before, though. Sure, most of them were in Vietnam, if you don't want to count that. I definitely do. But the way he treats children, traumatizing them for life after coldly executing their parents, telling himself he knows it will cause them to come after him and follow down the same path of crime. What a piece of shit. And while it's very human to want to see garbage get what they deserve, a hero is a symbol, and their actions resonate with people. If everyone followed Punisher's ideology, then we live in a very small, scared society. And granted, he's told cops who were inspired by him, "You don't do what I do," which is somewhat respectable, but ultimately an admission of fault. Somewhat soft accepting that no one should fight this war. He's just too far gone to stop now. He goes in dog shit tier. Fuck this guy. Now for a hero that's honestly more complex than the Punisher. The Hulk. The Hulk and Bruce Banner have been the hero, the villain, and everything in between. He shows that not all heroes are perfect, but he also shows how admirable tempering the beast within is. The Hulk can defeat any threat, from thugs to Thanos. He's beaten other Gamma Mutates, Thor, Olympians, and the Devil. You can definitely count it this time. There is no opponent Hulk can't smash, with his fists or otherwise. She-Hulk was included in this one time. You know, his cousin. What's up with Marvel writers and incest? But speaking of doing abhorrent things, Hulk is very guilty of that himself. He's cured the Gamma from other Gamma Mutates without their consent nor want to change. He's gone on countless rampages that resulted in civilian casualties, and not to mention all the other horrific things alternate timeline and dimension Bruce Banners have done. He has killed in the past, and while civilian deaths are unforgivable, he generally only ever aims to kill other monsters, the irredeemable and unforgivable. And Hulk's stories are about tempering the rage that could result in those things. If you haven't figured out by now, he has a little bit of anger pent up. And that comes from a traumatic childhood. And because of that, there are a lot of stories of Hulk helping children. One of my favorite Hulk stories is one where he goes on a rampage against the cops and government of a farm town after he found out they mutated a little girl. But he doesn't rampage before curing the girl of her mutation like a Chad. It's a genuinely great story. I really recommend checking it out. Now, when it comes to inspiration, Hulk is a huge hero to people like him and always an example to the teams he's a part of. I love the Hulk, so I want to place Hulk higher, but I think B is a fitting tier for him. Now, I can see arguments for higher or lower, but I think this is a good place for him. Now, Izuku Midoriya.
How you doing, sweetie?
Whoa, calm down, nigga. I'm only 16.
Does it look like I care?
Wow,
Honestly, not that great. He's such a crybaby. Imagine being depressed about not having superpowers in a world where everyone, even this fucking guy, has powers. And imagine when you finally get them, you have to break every bone in your body to use it at all. And to top it off, he's racist.
Who the fuck is this black person in my lobby? You better change that skin now. Hey, darky, I'm talking to you.
Nah, I can't do this anymore. I have to glaze. This is my boy. If you genuinely thought this about him before, then you don't deserve him at his...
You said he was a monster, but I'm convinced now. This kid is the devil.
I'm riding around town with a wretched bitch. Said calling you back on your wretched shit. I'm right down, Mr.
A hero willing to break himself time and time again for you is the embodiment of heroism. I love how he's inspired by the #1 hero of his world. He's just like me for real. And he got his powers by swallowing his favorite hero's DNA. I'll tell you right now, if I'm in the same position, I don't care what part of Superman I have to swallow. Deku teaches people a valuable lesson about how important reaching your hand out to help someone is. That even if you think you can't help, you should try. And that is peak heroism. Now, a lot of people were disappointed with the ending, but honestly, I loved it. Izuku's story wasn't about becoming the best or most powerful hero, but becoming someone who can help people. And as a teacher, that's the best position for someone like him. I appreciate that he can keep up his hero work while still being a teacher by using the Iron Deku suit. Deku goes in S tier as a star example for heroes. He doesn't quite make being on the superhero Mount Rushmore, as he's not quite this world's #1 hero. But someone else from My Hero might make it on. I want to end the video off with a lot lighter of a character subject than the rest. Benjamin Kirby Tennyson. I'm sure we all know the story of Ben 10. It started when an alien device, did what it did, stuck itself upon his wrist and shit, and there were some secrets that it hid.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell. Now he's got superpowers. He's no ordinary kid. I mean, come on. He's Ben 10. You know that. Get out! Now, he may have the most banger theme song, but when it comes to actually being a hero, it's more like a game to Ben than it is to most others. He's a thrill seeker, and always looking for something fun. That just so happens to be hero work. Not that Ben doesn't care about the people he's saving, he really does. He's just often too immature to express this. He has admin mode on his wrist and has accepted and embraced his title as the universe's greatest savior. And for the amount of times he's saved planets or other universes, I'm going to go ahead and slap him into A tier. He's generally too self-invested to be a perfect hero. However, if we were talking about Ben 10,000 exclusively, or even 5 years later Ben, this would be an easy S tier. It's just not how he's often recognized. So there you have it. Did I place anyone too high or too low? Let me know in the comments, and definitely tell me who else you want me to talk about. I didn't talk about Mark in this one because I figure he'll be a lot larger of a talking point, so he'll either be a big segment in another one of these videos or his own video entirely, as I have some passionate words about him. So if you want to hear me talk about more heroes I'd proudly wear on my balls, or see the Marvel Rivals rant video I'll be making soon, please make sure to stick around and subscribe. Like the video as well, please. This took me way too long to make. But I'll catch you guys in another one. Bye now.
Oh God, spent 22 grand on a hooker, brought her home and that bitch had a dick. Told her get out my house, and she walked out my house. I had noticed her booty was thick. I was like, nah, never mind, you good. I'm a lumberjack, I can tolerate wood. Lay down, then we played us some Fortnite.